Hi, Simon Bradbury from Thomas Morris Sales and Lettings. I just wanted to give you an update on activity within the marketplace for the first 2 weeks of June. I've chosen the first 2 weeks of June specifically because when we came back to reopen all of the offices in mid-May, I thought we'd just give a little bit of time for things to settle down. And in this report, I'm going to cover 4 things. I'm going to cover the selling market, the rental market, some changes on the legal side, on the conveyancing, and just some brief information about mortgages. So let's kick off with the sales market. At Thomas Morris, we have had a really phenomenal first 2 weeks in June. Specifically, we've agreed sales on over 60 properties. That's, I would emphasise, sales that have been agreed from willing and able purchasers to a willing and able seller. That's over 60 sales agreed in the first 2 weeks alone. We've had over 70 new instructions, which says to us all that we have a very, very active market. I mean, those figures are extraordinarily similar to June 2019. That's how strong the market is. In terms of prices, the statistics that we have correlate almost precisely with that data reported from Rightmove recently, which says that we're achieving, on balance, around about, on average, about 97% of asking prices. So that gives you an idea of the sort of activity we've experienced on the sales side. On the letting side, we're finding things equally as busy. Rents are remaining about the same. They don't seem to be going up or dropping, and interest from tenants remains very, very high. One thing we've noticed about the letting market in particular is that we're agreeing a number of lets directly from video viewings, and very often some of our prospective tenants are not even looking at the property directly live before they agree to go ahead. That's how strong the interest is. Turning to the legal side of things, often known as conveyancing, there have been a couple of changes over the last few weeks that I thought you might find interesting. Firstly, the overwhelming majority of sales are now going through with what's being called a simultaneous exchange and completion. That's an exchange of contracts and a completion of contracts on the same day. It's even got its own name now. It's called a SIM. And I would say the majority of sales happening are as a result of a SIM, an exchange and completion on the same day. This mitigates the risk for lenders and interested parties in something going wrong between exchange and completion. If that doesn't happen, if there is a period of time, a few days, a week or two, between exchange of contracts and completion of contracts, these sales are subject to a coronavirus rider, which basically means that people can escape from some of their responsibilities if between exchange of contracts and completion of contracts something happens to either the buyer or the seller or somebody in the chain. So that's quite a significant change from the old world from a few months ago. The mortgage market is another constantly changing marketplace. Lenders are updating, changing, withdrawing and adding new products. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day we're seeing these products change, and it will be a very, very good idea if you're thinking of selling, or if you're thinking of buying, or even if you just want to have a look at your mortgage options in this new world. Be a great idea to have a chat with somebody who could advise you accordingly. So there we are. We're absolutely delighted with the way the market's been going at the moment. It's a great time to buy and sell, great time to let, and I hope you find the information useful.